San Antonio, Texas, Region 8, we have Louie Lejia. At 112 pounds in the blue corner from Columbus, Ohio, Region 5, Michael Clark. The referee at this time is Marshall Cunningham.
Well, Louie Lejia is an outstanding amateur out of San Antonio. Despite the fact he's only had 21 fights, he was a youngster that kind of toiled in the gyms out in San Antonio. And as we get ready for round number 1, we'll see which one of these youngsters will come up with a championship. As Michael Clark moved into a very tough decision over Robert Francis yesterday, 3-2, while a disqualification moved Lejia into a win over Fred Pereira, the young man out of Honolulu.
Lejia is a product of this Junior Olympic program. He's come right along, come up through the 10 and 11 age category, up to 12 and 13, and now he's into the 14-15 Junior Olympic National Championships.
He may be in there with a pretty good brawler in Clark as they exchange in the center of the ring. Lejia, one of those fighters that was very quick of foot. It seems like he's trying to set down a little more of his punches now as he's reached the ripe old age of 15. And right now, Clark is the one setting on the punches.
You know, we watched Lejia in the semifinals. He is not a quick starter. Look at those fireworks going on in the ring. Oh, my goodness, I'm glad I don't have to score that. So many blows being thrown right there.
Can they last 3 rounds at this pace? Can they last the first round? Lejia's in some trouble as Clark has really teed off on him.
What a flurry. Have not seen a toe-to-toe flurry last that long in a long time.
Marshall Cunningham, the referee, stepped in because the rule says that a fighter cannot use the ropes to the advantage. Lejia was pounded in the ropes, but then started to lean and rest a little on the ropes when given a chance to move out by Clark, and he didn't do so.
Well, I'm not for sure, but I think Michael Clark has scored almost at will to the head of Louie Lejia. He is really pounding him. Lejia is not moving at all, but they're not clean blows, says the referee. It has to be with the white tip knuckle portion of that glove.
That is a caution. Not a warning, no points deduction there. Last half minute here of round 1 of a real war. Clark has been the man throwing most of the bazooka shots right now. Now, of course, Louie Lejia of San Antonio starts to move into the center of the ring, and he'd like to get a few shots in, but the round number 1 apparently belongs to Clark.
A lot of
112 pounders, they battle for the title. We'll be back. You're watching Junior Olympic Boxing here on Sports Channel. Championship here on Sports Channel of the Junior Olympics in Davenport, Iowa. In the nearly white headgear as he turns with the blue now on the left ear, that is Louie Lejia out of San Antonio. Michael Clark from Columbus, Ohio. Man, what a solid first round Clark turned in, though.
Very solid first round. There's no doubt about it. Michael Clark came out of the chute first. He was the aggressor in round 1. He took it to Lejia, and Lejia found himself over against the ropes, a place that his coach says he does not need to be.
Lejia gets his boxing talents and his will to box from his father. Louie Lejia was a successful professional boxer in the Texas, Arizona area, moved up in the middleweight division, but never got any shots at any championships. His uncle Jesse is retired from the ring, but a cousin James is still fighting professionally.
Well, let's remember, there are 3 2-minute rounds, and we're coming up to the mid-mark here in the second stanza. This could turn in favor of either boxer at this particular point. I think it's far from done.
You know, I watched Clark sitting on a stool to see if he was tired because he really worked hard in round 1. Took a couple of good deep breaths. Looks like he was in pretty good shape in the corner between round 1 and 2 as the referee, Marshall Cunningham, gets some tape squared away on the left glove of Lejia.
We just got a good look at Lejia coming back out of the corner. Again, a place where he doesn't belong. He was working very well in the first portion of this round when he kept the competition alive out there in the center of the ring. He stuck and he moved, worked well. Now you find him backing into the blue corner and against the ropes once more. Not good strategy on the part of Lejia.
Lejia has been able to watch as Clark has just walked right under his jab. He hasn't been able to keep him off of him all day.
But, you know, Lejia still has scored. He's still delivered his share of scoring blows. He's scored a couple of times right there, even against the ropes. They're not great scoring blows. They're more glancing than scoring, but there are some scoring shots there.
Lejia training in the San Antonio Recreation Parks and Recreation Gym. Barracks Recreation in Columbus, Ohio, the side where Clark is trained, and so far through 2 rounds, these 112 pounders have put on a show. Junior Olympic Boxing here on Sports Channel. Touch gloves, and this is round 3, a very entertaining 112-pound championship, and This may be a carbon copy of round one. A holding warning now being warned on Clark. I tell you what, I have to be very honest. I did not see Clark fight this well against Robert Fraser in the semifinals. Maybe I didn't give Fraser enough credit.
Well, I don't believe he did. I believe he is fighting one of his toughest, one of his most aggressive, and one of his most active bouts that he's ever fought right here. Certainly, these are three of the most action-packed rounds that we've seen the whole tournament.
Lejia with a red waistband. That's the way they identify the red in the blue corner. He's coming out of the red today. Normally has some excellent movement, good combinations, but I tell you, Clark has been all over him today.
You know, I think Lejia stunned Clark, though, just a few seconds ago over there, but Clark seems to have rebounded fairly well and is kind of moving around the ring right now as if he's not really dazed or hurt.
You know, I wrote the note last night out of the semifinals that Clark likes to duck in and he loads up for the left hand, but I tell you what, his body work and the way he's ducked in and thrown both hands has been very impressive today.
Very much so, but now I think Clark's starting to tire. Watch his gloves, they're slipping down below his chest. He actually is leaving himself open. If Lejia can come in and deliver just like that, then Lejia's going to do well here towards the end of this round.
Will that flurry in rounds 1 and 2 by Clark take its toll here in round 3? It appears so. Lejia starting to tee off on Clark a bit.
Clark, tired, overextended, leaning out, not very effective, not hurting Lejia at all right now. Whoa.
Lejia with a big left hand. Clark walked right through it, though. Both these fighters look like I was at the semis yesterday at a walk up the hill from the Black Hawk Hotel to this auditorium. Nobody told me it was straight uphill.
Yeah, but there's no coasting. You see, you coasted back to the hotel, and neither of these guys can coast now.
No, I got to ride down. All right, this is the end of round 3, and I don't think you can declare a winner yet. Clark pawing, clubbing away. Lejia tried to come on in the third, and the crowd loves it. Boy, what a fight here in the 112-pound division. Louie Lejia from San Antonio across the ring. Joe Souza over there along with Sergio Reyes greeting him. Napoleon Walls working in the other corner as both fighters get their headgears off. What an entertaining fight.
This was not a classic boxing match by a long shot, but it was a very, very much of a crowd pleaser. Crowds like this, they like action, and this was action from the start of round 1 until the end of round 3. A little bit sloppy at times, not high skill level, but a lot of heart displayed by each one of these boxers. A bout like this, you can almost say, hey, in their hearts, both of these guys have won.
Action again, moving. You may recall we showed you round 1. This is almost like a carbon copy. This is round 3. Lejia seemed to be taking a little more advantage in the third round than he did, obviously, in the first, and showed you that good left hand that he had scored with.
Clark actually got stuck a little bit into round 3. There you see his head turn. He delivers and scores one on his own, but Lejia moves in and delivers with a good right hand. And Clark seemingly now comes off of his stride, overextends. I think Clark got stuck a few times. Lejia covers very, very well in this particular point in the bout. Clark might be the better conditioned of the two.
That's right. I was going to say Clark definitely tired in the third after just a flurry of punches in round 1 and 2. First round, I didn't know if either one of them were going to still be standing. First of all, Clark from fatigue, and Lejia from the shots he was taking from Clark as they really teed off on each other. Round 2, Lejia started to at least get himself with his feet under him. And round 3, as you saw, was a very good round for him as he anxiously waits for the decision along with Clark. And again, as Van pointed out, whichever youngster represents the United States, this is going to be an outstanding champion, no doubt about that. Referees waiting to hold the hand. The judge is still tabulating. And again, it gives you an indication it's either very tight or kind of a strange card being handed out by the 5 judges again. Is Lejia with a little silent prayer no. Clark saying, did a good job in round 1 and 2. What happened to me in round 3? Tired a little there.
Well, the question is, you see so much action, but the question is, how much of that action was effective and how much was ineffective?
Well, let's find it out. Let's get the decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the winner in the blue corner from Columbus, Ohio, Region 5, Michael Clark. And receiving the silver medal is Louie Lejia from San Antonio, Texas.
Well, it was a unanimous 5-0 decision for Michael Clark over Louie Lejia. That great start in round number 1 gave him, I think, the victory. Let's pause.